With Christmas just around the corner, now is the perfect time to add some festive builds into your very own world. Today in this video, I have 25 unique Christmas build ideas to share with all of you. This first idea is a bit of an unofficial one. It's not really a build per se, it's more so the recommended use of a Christmas texture pack. I'll leave a link to this one down in the description below, but I always like to use it around Christmas time just to get in the festive spirit. It changes a few things such as adding lights to leaves, making everything super snowy. You even can turn iron bars into Christmas lights, and it's just really nice to have on, and I can definitely recommend it if you want to get in the Christmas mood. With the pack on, you probably wouldn't even have to build anything, that would do the job nicely. But assuming you do want to build some stuff, which is why you clicked on this video, let's start with number one, which is a classic. It's a Christmas tree. Big or small, I think it's a great addition to add into your world as a permanent feature. You could just get rid of the decorations afterwards and have a nice tree that year round you can add some trimmings onto, such as a bright tree topper, as well as some end rods just to make it look super sparkly and light up during the nighttime. With all of the snow falling down around you, you should definitely build a snowman. This cute little statue is the perfect addition to your world, but of course you don't have to copy this to a T. Same with the rest of the ideas, it's just to give you inspiration on what you can build. You can go a lot bigger or a lot smaller with this one, but a snowman is always a good idea in the winter time. I'm sure most of you already know this, but on the off chance that some of you don't, you can actually bring a snowman to life by adding in 2 snow blocks on top of each other with a carved pumpkin on top of that one. Your snowman magically pops into existence and roams around your world. Then, if you grab some shears and shear off the pumpkin, it reveals his true identity, which is, quite frankly, adorable. Perhaps you're looking to build a whole new home to live in over the Christmas period. How about an igloo, built entirely out of snow blocks and snow layers? The snow layers, by the way, are how we're getting that really gradual sloped rounded roof, as well as the tiny windows on the side. It makes for a really cozy place to live, and you can kind of have some fun with the interior as you've got a completely blank canvas to build upon. Maybe those tiny windows aren't big enough for your liking and you'd like some more light inside of your igloo. Well, why not instead build a glass igloo? Same idea, just replace the snow blocks with glass blocks. It's perfect for doing some nighttime aurora gazing, and it's going to make for a really cozy time. As long as you don't care about privacy. Everybody can see everything inside of here, so just bear that in mind. This next idea is what I'm calling a snow arena. It's pretty simple. You build an arena mostly out of snow and then fight with snow. Snow balls, that is, of course. I've just set up 2 snow castles here as 2 bases with some walls in between and can make for a fun little mini game with your friends. Next up, we have Santa's sleigh. This one is flying high through the sky, being pulled by all of his reindeer. Only 4 of them this time, and they're entirely made out of spruce. Of course, these reindeers just on their own can be a single build if you would like to. They're entirely made out of spruce blocks and pretty simple to do, so if you just like to build some of them on the ground, that is an option as well, but I personally prefer them attached to a big red sleigh with some presents in the back ready to be thrown out to all the children. If you want to build a sled that's a little bit smaller, not flying through the sky, and also pulled by some living animals, not just wooden statues, then a dog sled might be the better option for you. How about building a gingerbread house? It's constructed in the same way any house would be, other than you just change up some of the blocks. The main one here being brown concrete powder. I think that's the block that comes closest to looking like gingerbread, and the rest of it is just smooth quartz combined with a lot of colourful concrete for the candy gems dotted around your gingerbread house. Since it's giving season, you might want to build some presents, either to gift to some friends, yourself, or just have them being purely decorative around your base. The bonus with these are, there is a little bit of room inside for a chest or a shulker box to actually store some items if you want to make them usable presents, but if not, you can just fill it on in and then you can create some colourful combinations with all of the different wall blocks and make some super bright and vibrant presents. On the other hand, if those are a little bit too big and you want something smaller scale, you can use some different color glazed terracotta with coral fans on top, which make for a super simple and simplistic present design to fit under the tree. For the next build idea, we have another really simple one. Candy canes. This is simply smooth quartz stairs and red concrete. You can build them in varying heights. You can even make a bit of a pathway out of them, or like we had for the gingerbread house, you can make a candy cane archway. They're super easy to build, which means you can add tons of these dotted around your base to make it feel super Christmassy. One of my favorite things to build in Minecraft is a log cabin. You can build it all year round, but I honestly think during winter and Christmas time, now is the best time to do it. You may even have a log cabin somewhere in your world, which means you can just slap up some decorations and turn it into a Christmas log cabin, as opposed to a regular one. You can decorate the inside however you would like, but I feel a necessity of every home during the Christmas season needs to have a burning fireplace. It just makes it that much more cozy. Now, to make these tiny elf statues, you do actually need to add a couple of things into your world. First of all, a data pack from Vanilla Tweaks. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below, but it essentially allows you to make these tiny armor stands, which are really fun to play with at the best of times, not only around Christmas. But as for the player heads, there are multiple websites where you can find player head names that you can actually add into your world using the command section, so it will need you to enable cheats into your world. Some of you may not have that or want that, that's okay, but if you're okay with it, it does mean you can make these tiny elf statues and just have some fun with armor stands and make some really cute builds. Now, this next build doesn't have to be done to the same scale as I have here. This is my Christmas snow globe that I actually made in my survival series. As you can see, it's pretty big. It doesn't have to be. You can do it a whole lot smaller. Now, if you're wondering as to how I made the completely spherical shape of the snow globe, I used a website called Plots. Once again, link in the description, but it means you can make seamless circles in Minecraft, or at least to the best of the ability. And then you can fill the inside with whatever you would like. In my case, I of course made a log cabin, placed some candy canes around, as well as some Christmas trees. This build idea is a pretty simple one. You can probably figure it out without me even having to tell you. It's an ice rink. Of course, you can skate around in it by yourself with some friends, or you could even build some of those armor stands I mentioned a second ago to add some life to the very static build that is this ice rink. If you want something a bit more exciting, how about making an ice track, which is exactly what you think it is. You build a track entirely out of ice, or at least for the most part, which means you can hop, skip, jump and parkour your way through whatever layout you have, and it's just a whole lot of fun. You might have some more time around the holidays, and if so, maybe you want something that's going to take a little bit more time to do than just one of these single builds that I've mentioned. In that case, I'd recommend making a Christmas village. Essentially, it's just a combination of everything that I've been saying. You add some houses all dotted together, make a regular village essentially, and then Christmasify it. It can be a really enjoyable experience if you're doing this on the run up to Christmas. That's what I did with this village, and I had a great time. Now, something you may want to add to that Christmas village, or just in and around your base, is some Christmas street lamps. Now, you may not be able to add as much detail as you would have in real life, ones that would be up a high street for example, but what you can do is use a combination of different color glass panes as well as the two lantern variants we have to make a nice colorful light display. Remember the spruce reindeer attached to Santa's sleigh from earlier on in the video? Well, if you want to build some reindeer in your world, but you like something a little bit bigger, I'd recommend something like this. Or maybe not actually, not exactly like this. Statues are not my forte. It's my best attempt at a reindeer that's a little bit bigger than just a few blocks. He's a bit derpy looking, but I kinda love him. Hopefully you can do a little bit better than me. I'm sure you can. This next idea is a dinner table, essentially. I would recommend building it inside, however. I think you get a bit chilly out here in the snow, but it's a bit easier to show off this way. What we have going on here is some item frames with an oak pressure plate on top, which is essentially a very easy way to reveal whatever item is inside of the item frame. It can go a little bit glitchy though, so you might want to actually incorporate some data packs, but that's entirely up to you. I think this is a lovely addition to make if you have a space inside big enough for a big dining room table. Here we have an outside build that is actually made for the outside, and that is a market stall. Of course, the idea with this one would probably be to build more than just one. You don't want a single market stall, you probably want multiple. So you would most likely want to change up the roof canopy by switching out the wall colors for something else, just to add a little bit of variation, maybe even changing the shape and size of them too, as well as whatever they're selling. This one right here has some lovely gingerbread men and looks like some mulled wine going on in the back too. Our penultimate Christmas build idea is Santa's Grotto. This one taken very literally and just digging a hole in the ground and sticking Santa inside of there, surrounded by some presents and a few other little details, and I'm sure you could think of some more too. You could also probably make it look a bit nicer and not just stick it in the ground, but I actually kind of like it. So of course for this one we're once again making use of the armor stand mod as well as the player head edition, but for this one you very simply just replace the player name with Santa and you get Santa's head, which is kinda cool if you ask me. And last but not least, for our final idea, we have the simplest one yet. For all of you lazy people who have just watched all the way through the video and thought I can't be bothered to build any of them. Fair enough, I understand it, we're all busy this Christmas time. But here we have a 3-block build. It's a postbox. A backwards lectern with a barrel on top and a spruce trapdoor on top of that. So if you got a letter to mail to Santa, you can do it here. So there we go everybody, that is all 25 build ideas. I really hope I was able to help inspire you and give you some ideas of what you could build in your own world. Of course, not forgetting, these aren't meant to be exact replicas, you don't have to copy them block for block. It's more so just to give you an idea that you can take on yourself and you can do whatever you'd like with it in your very own world, getting yourself and your world ready for the festivities. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Of course, Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.